Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in right here on Wonder Dads Gaming. We are back on iRacing in the iRacing Fun League, and we are at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the third race of the NASCAR Cup season. A little bit of a break the last 2 weeks. Had a little mishap with iRacing. I guess they were attacked and had some issues with iRacing, so nobody could log in during last week's race on Thursday night. So we actually had to skip last week. Rather, we didn't skip it, but we had to postpone last week's race to another date. So the next 2 weeks, the NASCAR Cup season, the actual series, is on a 2-week break for the Olympics. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have to remove that Pocono and that Chicago race on the 4th of July. We're going to move those to our off weeks in the next 2 weeks. So stay tuned for that. We'll go over that shortly later on in tonight's broadcast, and we'll talk about that later on. So right now we were at Indianapolis for race number 3, and this is week 21 of the 2024 Road to Cup season. Our last race winner was, see, there is Poconos that I messed up, so hold on, excuse me, guys. So last race winner was Luke Mahone. Congratulations to Luke Mahone for winning at Nashville. He is your previous race winner. And I got a little confused there because we actually had to have a 2-week bye here in the series. So our last race winner, Luke Mahone, congratulations on your win at Nashville. Followed behind Luke was Zachary Ward, who came home P2. And then following behind Zach was Brandon Fiedler at come home P3. So there's your 1, 2, 3 at Nashville. And sorry for the delay, guys. Had a lot to go over. But give me just a moment here. There is your current Cup points standings. This is after race number 1. I actually haven't updated that, so bear with me here. We had a long break. So there is a schedule, and as I was saying, we had Chicagoland and Pocono get postponed and rescheduled to a later date. So as I said, the Olympics are going to be in the next 2 weeks, and we're going to have to move those races to the next following week. So we'll race Chicagoland probably next week and Pocono the week after. We were kind of talking with the different guys in the league and what they wanted to do, and I think we were going to do a doubleheader or have one week and one the next week. So stay tuned. We'll talk about that, and we'll figure it out. But tonight, July 18th, we're at Indianapolis for race number 3, and we'll go ahead and get on track here, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. The guys are actually on track. Oops, sorry, guys. Bear with me for just a moment here. And I actually have to do something here real quick, so hold on. Just bear with me. Actually have the wrong screen here. Sorry, guys. It's been a rough off week. There we go. So guys are on track for qualifying right now. And this is David Galloway Jr. on track. So right now, Luke Mahone has the fastest time with a 52.97, but Luke will be starting in the rear because he is last week's, or I should say the last race winner. Karakoff right now is P2, Brandon Fiedler is P3, Steve Moorman is P4, and John Ledger is P5, and Laraway is P6. So there's your current qualifying. We're going to go ahead and get on the grid here. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in right here on Wonder Dads Gaming. We are at Indianapolis at the Brickyard for 75 laps tonight. We are on the oval, not the road course here. And it is 75 degrees here in Indiana, and we will run through the field here. So thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Leave a comment, say hi, and we will talk about your drivers here in just a moment. But starting on the pole, Luke Mahone in that number 34 Ford Mustang. He'll be getting sent back to the rear, like I said, because he's a previous race winner. Starting in P2 is Matthew Karakoff in that Swedish Fish 00 car right there on screen. Starting behind Karakoff is Brandon Fiedler in the P3 position. He is in that 39 Toyota Camry. Starting in P4 is Steve Moorman in the 26 Toyota Camry. Starting P5 is John Ledger in that 25 Chevy Camaro ZL1. Starting P6 is Jeff Laraway in that 71 Ford Mustang. Starting in P7 is Matthew Heel in the number 53 Toyota Camry. Starting P8, John Scheidrich III in that number 95 Chevy Camaro. Starting P9 is Reverend Corey Goodall in that 333 Dark Horse Mustang. Starting P10 is Eric Olson, our 2024 All-Star Race winner there in the number 64 Chevy Camaro. Starting in the P11 position is David Galloway Jr., who we were just watching in qualifying moments ago. He's in that 27 Chevy Camaro. Starting P12 is Joe Tardif in the number 88 Chevy Camaro. Starting P13th, Marshall Dugan, our good friend Marshall, who joined us in the booth here a couple weeks ago and had a great time broadcasting with him. He's in that 45 Ford Mustang. And Barney Sigmund, will be rounding out the field in that number 37 Ford Mustang. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much. I forgot to run through the grid. There's your grid. Sorry, guys, a little rusty here. We had 2 off weeks, and I apologize. But there is your starting grid. Thanks so much for tuning in here. We're about to get started here. We got one race, one lap of pacing around this track before we get started here. The guys are following the pace car around the track, and we'll get things kicked off here in just a moment here. Who is that monster car? That monster car looks sharp. That is the 25 of John Ledger. That is an awesome looking car here. So there's your starting grid, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Barney, good to have you out there. Glad to have you race with us when you can make these races. Appreciate it. Alrighty, there is that 25 car I was talking about. Good looking car, and that is John Ledger, I'm sorry. John Ledger on the inside there. Alrighty, but Matthew Karakoff and Brandon Fiedler will be leading them to green here. We will pull up your pole sitter here in just a moment after we get going green here. Run a little bit behind here tonight. Try to make it out as fast as I could to get on here and show you guys the race. But the pace car is getting ready to pull off here in just a moment. Right now we're watching Matthew Karakoff lead that outside row along with Brandon Fiedler on the inside row. These guys are going to take these cars here to green into turn number 1. Alrighty, there you have it. Pace car is off the track. We're going to get started here in just a moment.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air for the first time. 75 laps here at Indianapolis. Race is underway. Brandon leads them into turn number 1 for the first time here tonight. A little bit of contact back there. That's Steve Mormon. And that number 50, or Matthew Heel, rather, actually, in that 53 car, makes a little bit of contact with Steve Mormon, that 26. Brandon leads them down the backstretch. He's in P number 1 with Karakoff right behind him. Matthew Heel, who we saw make contact with Steve Mormon, he's going to drive down the inside edge and make his way all the way up to P3. That car's looking pretty fast here tonight. John Ledger right behind him. And P4, Steve Mormon right now rounds out your top 5. I asked these guys in practice how these cars handled with these setups. We did not race this setup that they're using here tonight. We did not use this setup last year in the iRacing Fun League. We had to use a little bit of a custom setup. Reason being is because the actual the actual NASCAR Cup Series did not have a setup in iRacing on this local track. So we kind of had to make our own here tonight, and or last year. And this year we actually have a setup provided from iRacing for these cars. So these guys are using the actual iRacing oval setup for Indianapolis. So a little bit of a different setup here tonight than last year. And Corey Goodall, we were talking with him in practice, and he said it's handling pretty good. Just has to learn his brake marks and get through this track here. But definitely lots of practice is needed for this oval track, which we do not race here very often, only but once a year. And this is the first time in the actual Cup Series that they're going back to the oval. So interesting. Oh, Matthew Heel makes major contact with the outside wall through turn 1. That's going to slow him down a little bit. John Ledger right there on his bumper, waiting to make the pass. Heavy contact in that 53 car as he leaves turn number 1. So let's see if that's going to slow him down. There is Brandon Fiedler in the 39 car, still leading them down to, into turn number 3. Matthew Karakoff right behind him. He's doing fairly well. He says he's still trying to learn these next-gen cars, and we'll pull up him in just a moment, but Matthew Karakoff said he's still learning the next-gen cars. He's raced these a couple times with us here throughout the year in some of these fun races that we put together, but he says he still has a lot to learn with these cars, and he's doing fairly well running P2 on lap number 4 in this race. But guys, I want to go ahead and pull up our pole sitter and see how he's doing and how he plans to tackle this race tonight. That is Luke Mahone and that number 5 car on screen. Let's see if we can pull him up here tonight. Hey Luke, I just want to say congratulations on the pole. We're running a little bit behind here tonight, but wanted to pull you up and see how tonight's going to go and what's your strategy out there. How's the car handling?
Handling pretty good. Turn 4 is extra loose coming out, like right around here. Right now I'm just trying to save tires while also being fast and trying to keep up with the leaders. A little worried it's just going to be single file the whole night, and I won't be able to pass. But as of right now, it's going pretty good.
The cars and the track seem pretty racy, or is it like you said? Is it you think it's going to be single file throughout most of the race, or?
It's definitely racy, but I think as the run goes on, it's going to get more and more strung out. Like Brandon's, he's got a pretty good size lead, but then behind him they're pretty neck and neck. So I'm not sure. It's been a minute since I raced here with these cars.
Yeah, we know last year I was telling everybody that we used kind of a different setup because iRacing didn't actually have a setup for these cars on the oval track because we used to run the road course here. But this year, iRacing has a different setup. Does the setup seem pretty good to you so far?
I know for me, it's not terrible. You chip out going into one, like at the line, you're chipping out. And then on the backstretch, you chip out, which means your RPMs are like full and the red. Sounds like your engine's going to blow up, but it's not terrible. I've definitely driven worse, so I think it's manageable.
Alrighty, well thanks for letting us know, Luke, and appreciate hearing back from you. And good luck out there. We'll be rooting you on, and we'll see where you can finish here tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yep, good luck. We'll talk to you soon. All right, there you heard it from Luke Mahone, your pole sitter here tonight at Indianapolis. He is right now currently in P number 6 after starting in the rear from getting that EOL from last week's winner. All righty, moving up back to the front of the pack here. It is Brandon Fiedler in the number 39. He is still leading this pack, but it is Matthew Heel who has moved up to P number 2. He is back there in that number 53 Toyota Camry, moving his way to the front. We watched him make contact with the outside wall, but it doesn't seem to be slowing him down much here tonight. He's moving on up right behind the leader. He is under a second back, and he is gaining on the lead, so it'll be interesting to see if he can catch the leader, Brandon Fiedler. Matthew Karakoff falling back just a hair here, but he's still only 1.2 seconds back off the lead. John Ledger also up in the mix. He's running P4, and Steve Mormon right now rounds out your top 5. And we'll see if we can pull up John and talk to him, see how his night's going. See if I can find him. I actually don't see John in our chat, so I actually won't be able to pull him up. But anyways, John Ledger out there tonight in the number 25 Monster Energy car. Good looking paint scheme. And we'll keep an eye on him and see where he can move up through the field. Let's see if we can pull up our good friend Marshall Dugan back here and have a chat with him. Hey Marshall, it's David up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. How you doing, buddy?
Hey Marshall, how's your race doing out there tonight? How's the car handling?
It's a
little bit of contact there.
Yeah. It looks like Joe Tardis and Eric Olson got loose in front of me. It's other than that, it's going all right. I haven't really had much time to get any practice in here at Indy, and it's just been a busy week, so just these next-gen cars, it's a little different, but, you know, it's going all right. I mean, it's hard to judge off of how many cars we got tonight. It looks like we only got 14 tonight, so it's a smaller field than what I'm used to, so, but I'm here, you know, I'm putting in my hours, so, you know, my week's a run, and just getting my points in and supporting the league, that's all.
Well, I appreciate that very much, and thank you for talking with us. I just wanted to hear from you and see how your race is going. And I was telling everybody I appreciate you that time you were up here in the booth, and I wasn't sure if you were going to come back up here tonight or what your plans were, but good to see you out there on the track, and hope your race goes well for you tonight.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I don't mind joining you up in the booth anytime I have an early race, like if I get in an accident or, like, I don't have Pocono yet, so I might join you when we run Pocono, so we'll see what happens tonight. I'll just have to do a different pitch strategy than everybody else since I'm so far back, but yeah, we'll play it by ear, see what happens tonight.
All righty, Marshall. Well, good luck out there, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right, there you heard it from Marshall Dugan, the 45 car, currently running in the 13th place position. He just got passed by Joe Tardif, and we watched Joe Tardif make contact with Eric Olson earlier. If you guys missed that, right as we brought Marshall into the booth here to interview him, we saw Joe and Eric Olson make contact a little bit there. So a little bit of issue between those two guys. Joe Tardif trying to rebound as he makes the pass on Marshall Dugan here. But that car is looking like it has a little bit of an issue here. But there you have Eric Olson and Joe Tardif right there on screen. Moving up through the field, Jeff Laraway, he is running in P8, running top 10 right now, trying to get some solid points, have a good solid points day. We'll keep an eye on him to see where he ends up throughout the field. And as he's heading down the backstretch, he's closing in on the leaders. He is only 6 seconds back off the lead, and hopefully he'll have a good night out here tonight. Right in front of him is David Galloway Jr. in that number 27 Chevy Camaro. Steve Moorman has fallen back to the P6 position. He's lost 2 spots from where he started. It looks like Luke Mahone has made his way through the field. And now he is up to P5, so he's cruising up there towards the front. John Ledger's P4, Matthew Karakoff P3. The front of the pack hasn't really changed much. Matthew Heel P2, and Brandon Feeler has still led every single lap out there tonight in that number 39 Toyota Camry. Down through turn 3 this time by. Brandon's going to lead them into turn 3 and into turn 4. We're on lap number 12, 13 coming this time by. If you guys want to leave a comment, say hi, let me know who you're rooting for out there. We'll pull them up and we will interview them as we go. If you have a favorite driver, let us know who you're rooting for. But look at this, Matthew Heel looking to the inside of Brandon Feeler in 39, down the front stretch at the line. Brandon's going to cut him off and take that spot on the inside of the track here. But it looked like Matthew Heel has a fast car out there. After making contact with the wall, he's not showing any signs of stopping or he's not slowing down at all. He is right there with the lead. Karakoff right behind him as well. And these guys are heading down the backstretch, but that 53 car is looking fast out there, looking to take the lead away from Brandon in that 39 car. These Toyotas are fast. See if Karakoff in that Camaro's got anything for him. I spoke with Karakoff why he's running the Camaro. He says that normally he has the Mustang. He ran the Mustang in the Xfinity season. But it looks like next gens he has the Camaro. He's going to run that car this year. But look at Brandon Feeler there in the 39 car. As you see him move down the track and then back up the track, that is him trying to break that drafting zone and trying to break away from the 53 car. He doesn't want that 53 car to catch his draft. And so you may see this leader kind of move way down the inside. They do that a lot in the F1 car. I'm sorry, not the F1, Indy cars. You'll see that a lot in Indy cars where they kind of zigzag down to the track and up the track. That's him trying to break the draft away from the P2 so you can't draft behind him. And really interesting to see them do that here in the NASCAR Cup cars. But if you're curious to know why, that is exactly why. Look at the 53 car to the inside, down through turn 4 here. Out of turn 4, he's loose out of turn 4. That is Matthew Heel. He's going to fall back just a hair, and Brandon's going to hang on to this lead. But Matthew, look at the inside at the line. Brandon Fiedler still led that lap, but now on the outside, the 53 car has the preferred line through the corner. And he's going to retake that lead over the 39 car. And now, for the first time, we have a new race leader. That's Matthew Heel in the 53. And he takes that lead away down the backstretch. They go. The 53 of Matthew Heel leading for the first time here tonight on lap number 15. Fiedler right behind him, and don't count him out, but Luke Mahone is up there to P3, and he's charging to the lead. I spoke with him, and he said, man, starting in the back here at Indianapolis is going to suck, but he's making his way through the field like it's nothing. So he's got a good shot at winning it here again tonight in that number 5 car. But look at that contact. A little bit of smoke out of turn 4, and that's Brandon to the inside of Matthew Heel. Look at these guys racing side by side once again. Brandon wants that lead back, and he's going to take it back through turn 1 here to the inside. And Luke Mahone now side by side with Matthew Heel. That's low, more contact with the 53. Matthew Heel grazed the wall at turn 1 once again. We saw him do that earlier on the race, and it's Luke Mahone now to P2 after starting in the back. He's making his way up there towards the front nicely. Look at the leader all the way down the inside of the backstretch, trying to break that draft away. Trying to get away from these cars behind him so they can't draft him. But look at the 53 car right on the bumper of the 5. And he's going to go to the inside once again. It looks like these cars can really draft each other and make some ground here. Oh, the 53 car is just crazy loose out of turn 4. We've watched him wiggle once earlier in the race, and he's doing it once again. I wonder if that 53 car is just crazy loose right now. It seems like he's really fast through turns 1 and 2, but turns 4, we've watched him wiggle and get loose quite a few times here tonight. Matthew Karakoff and John Ledger still hanging on to that top 5 spot. They're running P4, P5, but look at these top 5 cars all together here right now. Really staying with the lead. Luke Mahone really all over the bumper of Brandon Fiedler. He's waiting to make his pass on the lead. But this is a good-looking race out here tonight. See the 53 car all the way down the bottom of the track. It looks like he got a little bit loose once again. Might have a little bit of issue with that car after making contact with the wall. That might be the reason why that car is handling really loose. But he's kind of falling back here, trying to stay with the leaders here. Now 53 really impressing me here tonight. After making contact, he's still hanging on. But I'm wondering if that looseness is a result of him making contact with that wall or not. Young Soccer Keeper says, come on, Matthew Karakoff. That's his dad out there in P number 4. Karakoff hanging on that top 5 spot. He started on that outside row in P2. And he's doing all he can to stay with these leaders. Still in a very respectable place here tonight, and still got a lot of racing left to go. We're on lap number 18 of 75. But Karakoff right there in the P4 position. Look at Brandon Fiedler down the bottom of the track here. Luke Mahone on the high side. He makes the pass at the line, gets around the 39 car, but Matthew Heel all over the bumper of the 39. These guys are putting on one heck of a race. The 5 car is going to lead them. He's our second lead change tonight. Our second car to, I'm sorry, actually third car to lead a lap here tonight. Marshall Dugan has left pit road. He came down pit road just moments ago for a pit stop. This is lap number 19. Barney Sigmund, I was trying to see if he was out there racing with us tonight. It looks like Barney wasn't able to make it. Right now he is off track in the 14th place position. Alrighty, so Luke Mahone now leading this thing on lap number 20. He has officially made his way through the field after getting that EOL for winning the last race. And now leading this thing on lap 20. Everybody who leads a lap here in the iRacing Fun League is going to get a bonus point. Right now, Luke Mahone has a bonus point. Brandon and Matthew Heel all have bonus points for leading a lap. I want to thank you guys all for tuning in right here in the iRacing Fun League. This is the Friendly Unwind Nights League. Appreciate you all for watching us here. We'll go ahead and pull up those playoff points here in just a moment. So after New Hampshire, you know what? I actually did not upload the new one. See if I can change it up for you guys here in just a moment. Alrighty, so after Nashville, there's your updated standings. 7 races remain in the regular season. Corey Goodall has the overall point standings lead with 1 win and 16 playoff points. P2 is John Ledger with 1 win and 16 playoff points. We actually have playoff points or actual point standings involved, and we'll have to go over that later on, but a couple cars down pit road. That is your leaders. Luke Mahone on pit road, Brandon Fiedler in the 39 pit road, John Ledger on pit road as well. Corey Goodall stayed out in the 333 car along with Steve Moorman in the 26, and also it looks like Matt Heel has also stayed out. So those couple cars. Joe Tardif stayed out as well in the 88, and they have yet to pit here tonight. Eric Olson on pit road for the first time here tonight in the 64 car. Alrighty, Matt Heel is your current race leader in that 53 car. Looks like he's gonna pit this time by. Yep, there you have it. He's gonna bring him down pit road. A little bit of wheel lock up, trying to get down to pit road speed. You can see that the front end of that car is all torn up or scraped up from hitting the wall. But he's having a good race so far. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up after his pit cycle. On with Corey Goodall on pit road. John Scheidrich, we haven't talked about him much out there tonight. He's in that number 95 Chevy Camaro. He is right now in the P8 position. Looking to get some points out there tonight in Indianapolis. And Steve Moorman has stayed out. He is currently your race leader, actually, in that 26 car. Steve Moorman, let's see if he's going to pit this time by. As he goes through turns 3 and turns 4 at the moment, I think he's going to pull off here and make his pit stop. Marshall Dugan, the inside, looking to make the pass. Got a little confused there. Looked like Marshall Dugan wasn't sure if he was going to pit or not. But Moorman with lots of wheel lockup, bring it down pit road. He might get a lap led here tonight. I think he did earlier on this lap, but he's going to lead a lap as well. With Steve Moorman down pit road for the first time tonight. Brandon Fiedler looks like he's going to take over the race lead with Matthew Heel right behind him. Down the backstretch they go on lap number 24. These two cars right here should take over the race lead after this cycles through. Moorman is still your race leader on pit road at the moment. Alrighty, guys, let's go back to the playoff points and run through it real quickly as these guys race to the line. So as I said, Corey Goodall has race lead. Points lead. Matthew Karakoff is P3 in the overall point standings with 2 wins and 15 playoff points. Brandon Fiedler, P4, 4 wins this season. Joe Tardif in the 5th place position has 1 win. John Scheidrich also has 1 win. Those are all your guys locked in with wins this season. We have a couple other cars, such as Luke Mahone, who have wins. However, they're not at the minimum 15 race participation. So what that means is Luke Mahone, if he wants to race in these playoff points, or if these playoff races come playoff season, he's got to race with us at least 15 minimum races, or he can point his way in. But right now, I think he is outside the top 20 in the point standings. Donald Bennett, though, we have not seen Donald Bennett in a while. Elliott Swope is also not out there. Willie Mann Jr. as well has not raced with us in a while. Those 15, 16, 17 place point standings right there, those guys will move down here in the next several weeks. And guys such as David Galloway, Matthew Heel, Steve Mormon, they may pick up those final place playoff standing positions because those guys have not been here in several weeks. So it's not over yet. A couple guys outside may be able to find their way in with just a couple races left in the regular season. 7 races to be exact. Alrighty, and also thank you, Zachary Ward, for making that graphic for us in the iRacing Fun League. Appreciate you and everything you do for the Fun League. Unfortunately, Zach wasn't able to make it out there tonight, so he is not racing with us. But still thankful he made that graphic so we can show that to you guys. Brandon Feeler still leading this thing in the 39 car. He is on lap number 27 this time by. Actually, 26 this time by. I apologize. Matthew Heel still right there behind him. He is just under half a second back off the lead. That 53 car, even though he made contact, it looks like he used a fast repair. I was looking at his car, and I think when he brought it down pit road, he made used his only fast repair to repair that thing. So, as you can see, the right front suspension has been repaired. And so he's doing everything he can to stay there, right there with the leader. And as you can see, the leader dropping way down the inside, trying to break that draft away from P2. He doesn't want him to draft him down the front stretch. Well, right on board with Matthew Heel right now in the 53 car as he chases down the lead of Brandon Feeler. Still a little bit loose coming out of turn 2 that time by. He's going to keep it straight right up on the high side towards the wall here as the leader of Brandon Feeler drops down to the inside. Making up a little bit of ground this time. You can see him closing in on the leader. He's definitely gaining on him this lap. He's still loose. Look at that. Oh, crazy loose coming out of turn 4. Brandon Feeler hits the wall out of turn 4 this time by. And I know I just said he used that fast repair, but look at that right front suspension that is now caved back in. Man, that car is having handling problems out there tonight. It is loose, but loose is fast. And he makes a little bit of contact with the wall this time by. You can see that front bumper is just a little bit off there. Hanging off a little bit on the right front. That may slow him down. There you have it. There's the front end of that 53 car, and you can see that right front suspension has a little bit of damage on it. But he's still trying to chase down the leader of the 39 car. But yeah, that 59, or 53, I'm sorry, he's having some handling problems out there tonight. Alrighty, let's see if we can pull up John Scheider. We haven't talked to him in a while. Hey John, it's David on the booth. You got me? Hey John, it's David in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you. What's happening?
Hey John, how's the race out there tonight? I see you running inside the top 5. How's the car handling out there?
Well, I'm going to be a little biased. I am not a fan of these cars, first of all, and that's just because I cannot drive them worth a lick. But besides that, they seem to be handling all right. I mean, come around to it. These cars build tight really fast, and they just don't turn to my liking. But other than that, I mean, I'm having fun. I literally bought this racetrack right as the session started, so.
Oh man, see, I hear you on that. See, I can't figure Indianapolis out, so I'm glad I have someone else out there that's kind of experimenting as we go. But I mean, you're running inside the top 5. That's a respectable place, and so it's kind of just learning as you go. I take it, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, honestly, I don't know how, but pit strategy, I guess, put me here. I mean, I came a lap earlier than most of the leaders, I guess, maybe 2 laps. So they're going to be able to hang on longer at the end. But, I mean, luckily this isn't the final pit stop. We got one more to come. So hopefully I can make it to at least where I can make it to the end. And we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, we'll be rooting for you out there, and good luck, and maybe we'll talk to you later on in the race.
I appreciate it, brother. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Good luck. All right, there you heard it from your 5th place positioner, John Scheidrich, third, 95. He is running inside the top 5. As he said moments ago, he just bought this track, and he said he's still learning the next-gen cars as well. Along with Karakov, those 2 guys still trying to figure out these next-gen cars. So bear with them. They're trying to figure it out. But John, like you said, kind of trying to figure out this car and track combo as we go. He just bought this track and just made his first practice laps here tonight on this track. So we'll be watching him, see where he can finish that car here tonight, the number 95. Back up to the front, we have Matthew Hill still trying to chase down the lead. That car's not looking too good on the right front side. Oh, Brandon looked like maybe he just made contact with the wall as well. He's going to lose a lot of ground there. Matthew Hill is definitely closing in on him. He's looking to the inside, not quite going to do it this time by. But I think that 39 car just grazed the wall there. And Marshall Dugan has crashed. This is a replay. Ooh, heavy damage to that car. No caution has came out, though. We've seen this happen before. When one car gets loose and spins around and pulls off track, there is no caution. So I take it, if you need a caution, you got to stay out on track, I'm assuming. But heavy damage to that 45 car. We'll watch it one more time before we go back to live racing here in just a moment. Here's another replay of that 45 car. It looked like he got real low on the track to the corner there out of turn 2 and just lost it. Made contact with the outside wall and heavy contact to the inside wall. He's going to have to tow that car back to pit road here. And that is the result of that is what happened after that. So Marshall Dugan is going to actually have to jump out of the car here tonight. We'll see if he races with us tonight, but there he is on pit road. Let's see if he's going to use that pit fast repair. That front end still all torn off on that 45 car, unfortunately, from Marshall. We'll see if he's going to race with us here tonight. All righty, Marshall Rhodes out there. Unfortunately, my night's done. Feel free to invite me up into the booth. Oh, okay, so Marshall wants to join us here in the booth. Let's see if we can pull him up. Hey, Marshall, how's it going?
I got you, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, unfortunate for you, you said your night was ended. You got a little bit of loose out of turn 2 there, huh?
Yeah, I started finding something there towards, you know, I pitted a little bit earlier than everybody else because I was so far behind. I figured I would, you know, short pit and experiment and, you know, we're downshifting. I don't know if everybody is, but I'm downshifting going into the turns, you know, to help brake and set it up. But I found on the short shoot, so when you had that short straightaway, once you hit your limit in the RPMs, you can upshift to 5th and just roll the throttle through and carry more speed. So I started to get faster, and I turned one of my fastest laps, you know, towards, you know, before I wrecked. And I was able to run with David Galloway pretty good. And he's running 4th, it looks like. So, and he even told me at one point I was starting to catch him. So I found a rhythm. Unfortunately, I touched the apron, and then looks like I got a hold of the grass, and it offset the car. These cars, you just can't overcorrect them because once they snap loose, you're pretty much done for.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely hear you on that. I've been there, done that many times in these next-gen cars.
But it's a learning experience, a learning curve. I don't drive these cars very much. I'm real comfortable in the trucks, and that's where I felt like I was, you know, better at in the trucks. I mean, I had a good run at Martinsville. And the Xfinity, I wasn't too bad, but these next gens, they're a different car, different animal, different beast.
Right. Hey, I don't
Take some
want to
time.
cut. I don't want to cut you off, but there's some good racing going on with the two leaders. And right before I pulled you up in the booth, it looked like Brandon, the race leader, made contact with the outside wall, and Matthew Heel took over the race lead. But now here they are racing side by side once again. Good battle going on between these two leaders.
Yes, sir. Looks like Brandon's on the outside. Looks like Heel's on the inside. Looks like they're going side by side now. Get ready to go into a turn here.
Interesting enough, Matthew Heel's made contact with the outside wall several times tonight, and he's still fast out there on that outside road. That right front of that car is all smashed up, but he's still got speed here tonight in that 53 car.
Yes, sir. Looks like he's going to get a good run coming off turn. Looks like he almost touched the wall there. Fiedler's on the inside of him. Looks like still they tuck in now. Looks like Heels is able to clear him down the front straightaways and come back by for looks like lap 37.
Yep, Brandon looking to the inside once again. These guys are going back and forth, and he's going to drop down the inside, but not quite going to get there this time.
Not
Oh,
quite
look at
gonna
that.
get there, but
The
John
high
Ledger-
side. Yeah, look at the
Yes.
inside row with the run off the corner.
Ledger is loving what he sees right now because Ledger's capitalizing. He's able to run down.
Yeah, John Ledger in that 25 car right in the outside row, staying with these leaders, these top four cars, all staying together.
And not to sleep, but it looks like, yeah, it's just Ledger and Heel, and then you got the 26 of Steve Mormon, which is lap down, but if something happens between these three, he'll get his lap back.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Curious to see how Luke Mahone regroups. It looks like he was fast early, and I guess he got caught on pit road speeding. It's a hard pit road. I got caught speeding on pit road also.
You know, see, I don't have that info, and I need to figure out how I can get all that on screen so I can report that kind of stuff, and I haven't figured that out yet trying to broadcast. But yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up because I was wondering where Luke Mahone went. He was up there, made his way all the way to the front from starting in the back, and now he's running P9 on lap 38.
Yeah, I think he was a lap down, or not too long. I don't even know if he was a lap down, but I know it's a hard pit road because as soon as you come off of that last turn, you really got to back it down, and you're going to lock your brakes up. I did at least, and it's what hurt me. I mean, I short pitted it. It could have been beneficial, but I also had a 40-second penalty too, which kind of set me behind the 3 laps down. But it looks like the lead is battle for the lead is picking back up again with Fiedler and Heel. Oh, it's a little close there.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there between the 39 and the 53, side by side out of turn 2. These
Fiedler's
guys
all-
putting on a heck of a show right now.
Yes, it's one of the best races I've seen in a while. Fiedler and Ledger. Ledger, surprisingly, with a great run. Nice to see him up front.
Yeah, these guys are racing really hard side by side. So I take it that this setup is working pretty good. I know they get pretty strung out single file, but these 4 top cars, I know Mormon's a lap down right there in that 4th car back, but these guys are all staying together, racing pretty hard and back and forth.
Even though Mormon is a lap down, he's holding his ground. You know, he's got the little bit of draft that they have, and he's using that to his advantage. He's probably praying that something happens to these 3 cars so he gets his lap back, because I don't really see a caution happening this race, unfortunately, but you never know.
Right, yeah, unfortunately with the situation that happened with your car out there tonight, if one car gets wrecked and it pulls off track, iRacing doesn't trigger the caution, which really sucks in your situation because you didn't get that caution to come out. But yeah, with the iRacing's controlling the cautions out here tonight, yeah, you gotta, more than one car has to be involved. Contact between the leaders again.
Contact, yes, contact again, and Ledger is right there now. A little bit of a draft there now. Looks like he's going to use the draft on the outside to help
yeah, he's
Heel
pushing that 53 car all the way into the corner this time.
pushed Heel right up in the lead. He's going to give Fiedler second spot back.
I am impressed with these cars and how they're going back and forth for the race lead. This is an awesome battle going on between these leaders.
It's a really good race. It's a very good race up front here.
It just amazes me that damage in that 53 car and how he's able to race, maintain the race lead, but as much of a, its speed and aero matters at this track, I'm assuming that 53 car is still fast. You would think with that bumper being crumpled the way it is, it would affect the aerodynamics, but apparently he's still got speed in that car.
He's still got speed, and speaking of that, it looks like green flag pit stops are about to start taking place again. I've noticed Galloway and Zedrick had dropped down the leaderboard a little bit to 8th and 9th. They most likely came down to pit road because they were running 5th and 6th, I believe, respectively. So we're about to see how things shake up here in the next couple laps, these green flag pit stops.
Yep, it looks like Jeff Laraway's made his way down pit road this time by, and we'll see if there's more takers coming on.
Fiedler with another run going into turn on Heel. Heel on the outside again. Heel with the run.
Side by side once again.
Side by side. Heel clears him. Fiedler will tuck it back down low and behind him for a little bit.
Yep, lap 43 this time by. Heel still leading this thing.
Ledger catching the draft off of Fiedler.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Ledger. That 25 is hanging on. He's going to have a good finish out here tonight, if not a race win, if these two guys keep messing around.
Yeah, if they keep messing around, all it takes is that last lap. If they touch a little bit and he's still there, it looks like Fiedler back down low, but Heel is right there. How close they get in these turns I would think the aero would, they would pull the aerodynamics off each other and they would get loose, but they don't.
That's what I'm saying is, yeah, I'm really surprised too, but we've seen it time and time again with cars racing this hard for the lead. That third car back could come away with a win, and he's won here once earlier in this season, so you never know. It could be his day.
Exactly.
That 53 car of Matthew Heel, he made contact with the wall again. 39 down pit road this time.
It's their Fiedler down pit road. Who's he bringing with him? The 25.
John Ledger as well. Yep,
Smart
39
call.
and 25 on pit road this time.
I'll jump back up front and keep an eye on Matthew Heel.
Steve Mormon, he got around the leader this time.
Good. So
he's
get
back
his lap
on the lead
back.
lap.
See Matthew Heel. Yep.
So we just saw Steve Mormon get around the leader of the 53
Heel's
car, Matthew
using his
Heel.
draft as
But
he
he
should
is
with
back on the
Mormon.
lead lap. He is at the tail end of the field. Ledger and Brandon off pit road this time.
Looks like Heel's coming down pit road, so Mormon got his lap back. So Heel's coming down pit road now.
Look at all that brake lockup.
It's a very tricky pit road to get into.
Oh yeah, I bet, because you're coming full speed off that corner, and then you just dart right down the inside. It's just, you got to slow way down on this track.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way. So I got a 40-second penalty. I was like, well, I thought I'd be the guinea pig to short pit, and I got a 40-second penalty on top of that.
Oh,
so
man.
It really didn't help.
Looks like Luke Mahone on pit road this time by. Corey Goodall right now is your race leader on lap 45. He's staying out.
So David and John, with pitting a couple laps early, are back up to 7th and 8th, back on the lead lap, it looks like. Heel's coming off of pit road now. So let's see where things circle around. Corey Goodall, it's nice to see him out here on Thursday nights. I run against him on Monday nights with our track big on Monday nights, and me and him have been going at it pretty good in the midgets and sports here lately. It's nice to see him doing both Monday and Thursday nights.
Yeah, definitely. Look at these guys as they came off. Matt Heel came off pit road, and he was almost about to take the lead back away. But look at them right there side by side once again on lap 46.
Ledger's not far behind. He's right there where he needs to be.
Yeah, he should be able to catch that draft and hang in there with these guys.
Yes. So it's going to be a 3-car race here. It's roughly next 30 laps, it looks like.
Eric Olson on pit road along with Corey Goodall.
Although it looks like Fiedler is it Fiedler? yes, Fiedler's opened up a little bit of ground now on the lead.
Yep, he's kind of pulled away. He's almost 1 second ahead, almost. Not quite, just over half a second right now.
But I'm wondering if that's mainly because he came lap or two before heel and he's got a little bit fresher tires. I don't know. It's by the time these tires blow off within the next 10 laps, this 3-pack group should you could throw a blanket underneath of them.
Right, yeah, definitely. I'm watching Matthew Heel right now, closing in on the race leader. Now, I was talking to Luke Mahone earlier in the race. We interviewed him for qualifying on the pole, and he said that he kind of taps out going into turn number 1. Do you kind of rev the engine a little bit there, or tap out in the RPM?
Oh, yes. Both front straightaway and back straightaway. I actually hit, so I'm going to change the Fiedler's on cam real quick. And I'll tell you about where I hit the rev limiter in my car. Let's see. So he hits the rev limiter a little bit, so he's probably still 4th gear in that turn. So Fiedler coming down the front straightaway. I'm in 5th right now. I hit the rev limiter almost at the flag stand. Yeah, right now, rev limiter. And he carries that, drives it in deep, downshifts to 4th, like I was doing. And then right here, I'd shift to 5th real quick. I'd shift to 5th and carry 5th all the way through because I felt like I could gain more speed, which I ran a fast lap. I ran a 53, I think it's 4. I mean, it's not bad, but these guys are in the 52s now. But yeah, you definitely hit the rev limiter on the front and back straightaway halfway down, it seems like.
Right, yeah, I'm watching that now. I had Young Soccer Keeper make a comment earlier. What happened to Karakov? That's his dad out there racing the 00 car. When Karakov fell back to P8, he started on the outside pole, though.
I don't really know what happened. Let's see. By himself now, it looks like. Luke Mahone is behind
Car's
him.
looking pretty clean. I know a week before, or I think it was at Nashville the week before that, he said he was caught speeding, so he had to bring it down pit road, and that's why he got sent towards the back. But out there tonight, I wasn't keeping tabs on what happened with him early in the race.
Yeah, I was running with him there for a little bit at one point in time early on in the race. I'm not sure if maybe he got, a mishap on pit road. I know I overdrive my pit stall just a tad bit sometimes. I have to back up. It slows me down. I got to get used to stopping a little bit earlier instead of overdriving it, because that 5 or 6 seconds will kill you.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, he's got no damage, though, so I don't... only thing I can think of is maybe he had a mishap on pit road.
He might have. That's what I'm assuming.
I'm not sure what happened to John. Let me see.
Yeah, John's fallen off a little bit back there in the 3rd place position. He's not as close to leaders as he once was. He's still kind of hanging in. Do you think he can catch a draft there, or is he falling too far back?
Let me, no, he's still in the draft. He's probably waiting for his tires to come in. I'm pretty sure he's still in the draft window. I don't know, from this camera angle, he's following him down the front straightaway like he needs to, so it looks like Hill and Fiedler are about to start, doing their battle again. So once that happens, he'll definitely catch him. So still in the window.
Yeah, 25 laps to go this time by. We're winding this race down. It's getting close here towards the end. You think they still got to make one more pit stall, right? Pit stop?
Yes, they definitely have one more pit stop. I think you don't get very many laps to a gallon. I'm pretty sure these guys are maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 at the most laps short. So if anything, they could probably pit and take a splash of gas. If it was me, if I was a car in the back, say like, running 6, 7, 8, maybe even 5th or 4th. I wouldn't even worry about tires. Just come down, take a splash of gas, and go with it. You know, you're going to make up a couple of seconds on pit road just to splash of gas, and that's going to save some time there. I mean, gamble with it
definitely.
last couple laps. You never know. You might come out 3rd, 4th, or 5th. And if the caution does come out, well, you saved your tires. So you come down pit road, get 4 fresh tires.
Right, exactly.
Looks like Fiedler and Heel are pulling away from Ledger now. So I'm not sure if Ledger's tires are going away from him.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's fallen back quite a bit to the point where he's losing that draft.
Looks like Galloway and Cedric have worked their way back up to 4th and 5th. Good, strong runs for both of those guys tonight again. They had dropped back down, you know, to 8th and 9th, it looks like, earlier, but I think it's because they came into pit road a couple laps earlier. So they'll definitely be a couple laps short. So they're definitely going to have to come back out pit road again.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. I just can't believe these two race leaders, the show that they're putting on, those two cars. Those Camrys are fast out there tonight. And look at how, I love how Brandon's trying to break the draft by dropping the inside of the backstretch, and it just, he stays right there with them. He stays in that solid straight path, and it doesn't seem to really affect that 53 car.
No, it doesn't. I think right now, Brandon, you know, he's won a few. Heel, I know, has won at least a few, or a couple, I think, earlier this year. They both know that, you know, you've only got about 23, 22 laps left. Let's not make a mistake. Let's not take each other out. Let's run this race for a little bit. We're probably going to have to pit again. So they're probably just content running with each other right now, how they are, staying in striking distance, and then last couple laps, that's when they'll turn it on.
I'm right on board right now with Matthew Heel, watching him race as he closes in on the leader there. He catches him right there in the corner. It looks like Heel's almost better through the corner than the leader, but I don't know. But then Brandon also impresses me and pulls away here and there. So it's amazing how these guys go back and forth. Oh, 39 in the wall.
Yes, it looks like he touched the wall coming down the straightaway there a little bit. I'm going to go back and see what happened there.
We were watching them, and then it looked like the 39 just drifted up the track and made contact with that wall. Maybe I don't know if he got tight or... It didn't look like he was loose, did it?
No, he wasn't loose. It looks like he barely touched it. It looks like I'm going to look at his car, see what kind of damage he's got, but he should be good. Although, looks like Heel's taking a lead though now, so...
Yeah, he's really pulling away, so I don't know if that 39 car has an issue after making contact with the wall or not, but he seems to be falling back quite a bit.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of ground. Well, he's looks like a half second now. They're talking right now in race chat. I've got that turned down so it doesn't interfere with the broadcast.
Yeah,
so
I had that turned on a while back, and then I turned it off. It just it interferes too much with the broadcast, so I can't hear them. So if they're saying anything interesting, you know, you can always let us know.
Yeah, I've got it turned down a little bit. I see their names pop up on my screen, but I've got it turned down. That way I can focus on broadcast. John Ledger has dropped back to 2.5 seconds back, so I don't know. I mean, they're still in eyesight of him, so he's not far off. So I don't really know what's going on. Looks like Fiedler's dropped back to looks like 0.7 now. So I don't know if he's just got some damage, or Fiedler did pit before Heel, I believe. So maybe his tires have finally gone away, and Heel's got a lap or two pressure tires.
Now,
it's going to be...
What happened earlier in the race when I was interviewing you that first time? What happened between Joe and Eric Olson? They just get into each other side by side, or?
Yeah. So it is funny. It's funny that you mentioned that. I can't even remember what lap it was, but it was early in the race. You had just pulled me up into the booth, and they were going at it pretty good for a while, and I think it was Tardif in the 88 got a good run on Eric Olson, and they went into one of the turns. 39 is going to be pitting this lap. Just heard that come across my race feed. But yeah, it looks like so lap 8, I'm going back to Tardif, and he got a run on Eric Olson, but he overdrove it, and the car just pushed right up in Eric Olson, and they both touched. And I just had nowhere to go and just touched Tardif a little bit. So that's what happened back on lap 8 with me and Olson and Tardif.
Yeah, Ledger on pit road as well, right behind Brandon at 39.
So Ledger and Brandon are both pitting together, so that might be a good thing for them. So this is probably going to be their last stop. So it happened a lot earlier than what I thought it would be, apparently.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wasn't sure when they would do it, but yeah, 17 laps to go this time.
And it looks like Zedric and Galloway both are also on pit road.
Yep, David Galloway in the 27, he's on pit road. Looks like Laraway stays out in the 71. He's going to move up to P3. Corey Goodall stays out.
Looks like Luke Mahomes stayed out also. So it's going to get interesting here in the closing laps.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see where this all cycles through when it's all said and done. Right now I see Luke Mahone ahead of, or it looks like Brandon and John are back there in the 6th and 7th place position. So it's going to be interesting to see where this all goes through.
It looks like
Matthew's really staying out there. I wonder if he's going to pit this time by or not.
We will find out. So it looks like Matthew Hill took the lead. Well, still has the lead.
He's
I don't
staying
know.
out.
It looks,
Karikoff on pit road along with Jeff Laraway.
yep, Hill's staying out. There is a car on pit road smoking. Who may that be?
That might have been Laraway, I think. Laraway's on pit road, or Karikoff was on pit road. I think he got off track. I think he's out.
Yeah, Karikoff manually disconnected. So
Yep.
let me go back and check this replay real quick and see just exactly what happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what happened to Karikoff, but yeah, he came down pit road. He jumped the pits and.
No, nothing happened to him. He's got a clean car. The car on pit road actually smoking from my screen
Yep.
is my car.
Yep, I saw that too. Yeah, Karikoff, he jumped out.
So I don't know if he just felt like he wasn't. Maybe something happened, or you know, something with the family, something with him.
Alrighty, back to live racing here.
It's not like that, you know. Karikoff usually runs pretty good and stays in, so I don't know.
Yeah,
if something.
he did tell me he's still learning these cup cars, and he's kind of just taking it race by race and trying to figure it out. He said he's really good at the trucks because he did win that trucks championship, but still learning these next-gen cars. But what is your opinion on Matthew Heel and Brandon Fiedler right now? Do you think him staying out this long is going to hurt him with 14 laps to go, or what do you think? I don't think he's got enough to get to the end, so he's going to have to come down pit road.
No, he definitely does not have enough to get to the end. To be honest, I think it could help him if he can stretch it out as far as he can.
You don't think with those new tires, with Brandon and John behind there in 3 and 4, you don't think with those new tires he's catching them, or they're catching him, and he's going to run out of time?
He might, but so they got enough. They'll have fresher tires, obviously, which they do now. They're definitely going to catch him, but I don't know. I'm not in my car, so I don't know how many more laps they have. I was surprised to see those guys pit. Now I think Heel could probably run it. He's coming down pit road now, so that answers my question.
Yep, Matt Heel down pit road.
He locks him up. He might have got caught speeding, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm always wondering, if these guys are going to get caught speeding, coming down pit road, locking those brakes up.
So we'll see. I mean, it might cost him. It might not. I know it's always costed me because I've stayed out a few times. I think a couple races ago, I stayed out and led a lap or almost a lap. I stayed out longer than everybody else, and it hurt me in the long run. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm watching John Ledger here and Brandon Fiedler. These guys still hanging in there right with each other. All right, Matt Heel is off pit road, but I don't think he's got enough time to get around these guys.
No, I don't think so neither, because there they go now. And the real question is...
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be close. Here comes the 39, the 25, out of turn 2 this time, and Matt Heel is in front of them. He is half a backstretch in front of him. That is pretty impressive.
It's very impressive, but I can tell you right now, Luke Mahomes is up there.
You're right. Yep, Luke has not pitted yet, as far as I can tell.
So we're gonna...
I cannot believe that Matthew Heel stayed out all those laps on older tires, came down pit road, and he's that far ahead of Brandon and John. I thought it would be a little bit closer than that. That's pretty crazy.
Well, it's cycled through now. Mahomes has the lead, it looks like. And it looks like Heel is second. Fiedler is getting ready to get... whoa! It looks like Mahomes.
Oh, 5
and
and the 53. Door banging into turn 3.
It looks like Mahomes threw a block on Heel there.
Yeah, there was some contact going on between those two cars.
So that's interesting. I wonder what that was all about.
Yeah, 53 and the 5 making contact. Let me see if I can back that up. I wish I had a button to go jump right back to there, but I'm going to back this up real quick and take another look at that.
It looks like Mahomes did throw a block. That's what I've got on my screen.
The 53 jumped way down the inside, tried to get around the 5, and then he was not happy with them, made some contact and gave him a bump.
Yes, so I believe it looks to me Mahomes threw a block, tried to slow down the Heel a little bit.
Alrighty, back to live racing here with 10 laps to go. Your race leader is Matthew Heel in the 53 car. He has led a lot of laps. Oh, 5 way in the wall.
Yes, yep.
Moving home with a hard hit to the wall.
Looks like the 71 of Laraway is going to pass him. So it looks like Mahomes is definitely off the pace now.
Yeah, that looked like a hard hit. That's probably going to affect speed in that car now. But then again, the 53's made contact with the wall all night long, and look where he's at, so you never know.
It looks like the 53 is not slowing down at all, neither. He's pulled out to a 1.2 second lead. So we're going to...
I do know that it depends in these next-gen cars where you hit the wall and how you hit the wall, because they are pretty rigid. You can kind of rough them up here and there, but if you bend that toe link, though, in the rear end or something like that and step that rear end out of line, then you're screwed and you're going to lose a lot of speed. But these cars will take a beating, as we've seen.
Yes, they will. They definitely will. I'm kind of jealous. I wish some of the dirt cars would take a beating, but unfortunately, some of the dirt cars, if you just so much kiss the wall,
Right.
they're going.
Luke and Eric on pit road this time.
Let's see. So Matthew Hill is up to 2.17. So we got a battle for second now. It looks like Fiedler and Ledger. So we're going to have a race for second place here at the end of this race.
Yeah, these guys have not left each other's side all race long. They're staying right there with each other, the 25 and the 39.
They've been pitting together. They've been racing together. So it looks like it's going to be a strong race for second place.
It's pretty funny seeing the Chevy and the Toyota working together here at Indianapolis, but they're making it work out for them.
They're making it work pretty well, considering that it's the Chevy and the Toyota is what Ledger's in.
Yep, Ledger's in the Chevy Camaro. He is leading the Chevy camp in P3. And it's third, fourth, and fifth right now that are the Chevys, and then the Fords are sixth, seventh, and eighth.
That time across, let's see, Heel's opened up to 2.3 now. So Heel is, unless something happens between now and then, he's pretty much got this in the bag. He's pulling away a little bit each lap.
Yeah, he's definitely pulling away. That 53 car has been fast all night long, and he's definitely showing speed here late in the race with 6 laps to go this time.
He's pulled away again up to 2.5. I'm going to cycle through the leaderboard here.
I want to watch this 5 and 53 here right now because they're back to each other once again, and that 5 was almost throwing the block on the 53 car once again. Here they are down through turn 3 this time by. Look at them side by side.
Side by side still. The 5 on the inside of the 53.
I'm sure the 53 is not real happy with that 5 and how he's racing them. And look at these guys. He has to back off.
Oh, there's something going on there.
Yeah, there's something going on here. The tensions are getting high. This race is amping up. And I don't know if you remember, but earlier in this season, there was a little bit of an issue between Matt Heel. Oh, major contact with the wall.
Yeah, so
these guys have a history. Earlier in the season, they made contact earlier, and I think they did not forget.
Well, they did not forget, and I had the race chat turned down, but I caught something about like, why I'm doing this or something. So there's a grudge there. They have not forgotten. So Heel's not happy with the 5, and the 5's not happy with 53. So this is going to get interesting.
Oh yeah, this is real interesting. It's heating up. These guys are door banging each other down the back stretch, down the front stretch at the line.
They are
5 laps to go. Yeah, these two have a history. Oh, and the 5 gets real loose there.
Yep, it looks like the 5 was going to try something, but Heel kind of had it, knew it was going to happen.
Heel just needs to put the pedal to the metal and get the heck out of there now.
Now the question is the 5 going to drive the car like Matt Kenseth did at Martinsville when he took Logano out?
That's what I'm curious. That's what I want to know. These guys have a history of racing each other real hard. They've had issues in the past with each other, and it's interesting watching them and see what they're going to do.
And I'm going to tell you right now, don't fall asleep because that lead has shrunk. It's gone down to 1.2 seconds now.
Yeah, watch them racing side by side once again. The 5 car. He's not happy with them.
No, he's not. He's squaring him up, trying to.
Watch these guys racing down into turn 1.
And the 5 does have fresher tires because he finally came down.
That
to the
is
road.
true. He's got the draft and he's got the fresher tires, so he's going to hang with them there all the way to the end. So the 53 really needs to watch out here. Contact down the backstretch.
Yeah, contact back and forth. If I was the 53, I would back out and just let the 5. But see, you can't back out too
You
much
can't.
because you got Ledger. Yeah, you got Fiedler and Ledger behind you.
Yeah, Fiedler and Ledger, they're loving this. They're racing there right behind them, waiting to see. Like I said, it's not over till it's over. These guys right there in the second and third place positions, anything can happen. If this race leader gets wrecked, these guys are going to step up. Ledger moves off the 4.
Ledger.
Oh, 5
Matthew
down
Hill.
pit road. Lots
The
of
5.
contact. Did he try to wreck the
Lots.
leader?
It looks like they touched, and they touched at the right spot. And when they touched, it looks
All
like
right, we're
Heel
going to
just-
back that up once again. Take a look at that.
it looks like Heel came down into the 5 at the right time, and just kind of turned him right down into pit road, and
Oh, yeah.
could.
And he clipped the inside the pit road wall there.
So I'm not saying that is the right thing or the wrong thing, but Heel couldn't have timed that any better than what he did.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty big shove down the pit road.
Yeah, it was. So, and something else these guys have got to be careful with. Oh, Ledger into the wall. Looks like Fiedler. Man, that door closed on Ledger and Fiedler.
Yeah, these guys have been grazing that wall every time almost, it seems like. And last time Ledger got really loose, but he's hanging on to it. White lap,
Okay.
or white flag in the air, last lap.
White flag. Let's see if Ledger is able to get around Fiedler or not. I don't think he's going to force the issue. I think he's just going to cruise right there. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to these interviews at the end of the race.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some tensions and tempers in these interviews. All right, through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, it's Matthew Heel leading them to the front stretch here.
Ledger to the outside of Fiedler. Fiedler with the run off the turn. Coming down to the front straightaway. It looks like Fiedler's going to get the run for second.
At
Ledger
the
with
line, Matthew Heel with the win. But yeah, look at Brandon Fiedler and Ledger, P2, P3.
Strong run for Ledger.
Wow, that was a crazy finish.
Crazy finish.
I was not expecting that one bit.
No, I wasn't expecting a couple of those laps to be between the 5 and the 53 the way they were.
I
at
was
all.
not either. Galloway gets a top 5. He finished P4. Corey Goodall, P5.
Zedrick with a P6. It looks like that happened on the last lap. It looks like Galloway needed that run. That will really help him in the chase because he was so far back. And I think with this P4, this will really help his chances in the chase finally in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All righty, Matthew Heel at the line here. Let's see if he does his victory burnout here tonight. I think he's waiting for all the other cars. Now, I'm curious to see where Luke Mahone is. Oh, he's off track. Okay. I was going to see if he was going to show his displeasure with the race leader.
He's off track, but he has not disconnected yet.
Congratulations to Matthew Heel on winning at Indianapolis. He is your race winner in that number 53 Toyota Camry.
Looks like Zedrick got off and disconnected already, so exit for him.
Alrighty, well, let's see if we could pull up Matt Heel and give him a race interview here.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Matt, it's David and Marshall up here in the booth. Congratulations on the win, man. You put on a heck of a show, and we got some questions for you after this one. But how'd the race go?
Oh, yes, sir. That was an amazing race. I'm just really lucky to make it, to be honest. I got out of work a little bit early, and I made it with 7 minutes left on the clock. Couldn't qualify because of past issues. I apologize for all that. Hopefully we're all past that now. But, man, that was just an amazing race with Brandon Fiedler. I mean, what a class act. Ran me really clean. I just had a lot of fun there. I feel terrible that he got that little bit of damage there at the end. I was really hoping to race him to the checkered flag, but nevertheless, just a really fun day, and I'm happy to park this Planter Box Direct number 53X in Victory Lane.
Well, congratulations, man. We were really impressed with you guys going back and forth. You and Brandon put on a heck of a show and really impressed us all race long. We watched you guys side by side, lap after lap, back and forth through the lead, and that was really impressive. It was a great race between the two of you. Walk us through what happened between you and the 5. I know you guys had some history in previous races making contact with each other, but was that kind of a result of that from just previous races?
I don't see a 5 in this race.
He was the 5 as his paint scheme, but it was Luke Mahone in the 34.
No, just fun racing the 39 Brandon Fielder. He's great all day.
All righty, Marshall, you have anything to add?
So my question is, Matthew, you had a fast car tonight, obviously. Feeler definitely. John Ledger did at one point too. How does this track race for you guys? I was in it for a little bit. I was having issues. You guys downshift any? Like I was downshifting to fourth going into turns. So
That's interesting. I didn't really get too much practice, and our RPMs were so high that we were actually hitting the chip at the start-finish line, so I didn't even think about downshifting. Yeah, John Ledger had a really good race. He was up there with us battling. I appreciate he raced his clean class act there as well. Had a lot of fun. It looked like he and Brandon pretty much raced it out there in the last few laps, but always fun to have some competition here and to put on a good broadcast for you guys.
yes, it's definitely a great race throughout. The last 40, 50 laps, I would say. It was definitely interesting between you, Brandon, and John, both.
Yeah, last thing I want to add, this track is very special to me. This track actually hosted my one and only win in the eNASCAR Heat Pro League. And I have that as my background screensaver still, so this track has a very special place in my heart. I know pretty much every corner and the grandstands and everything like the palm of my hand. It's a very, very special day for me, and it's just always a fun time coming back to this track because I know that I'm going to be competitive and hopefully win. And we did that today, so super, super happy.
Well, Matthew, I'll tell you what, I'm sold, man. I was kind of skeptical coming back to the oval in these next-gen cars and what we might see, and I was afraid it would be single file all race long. We did see a little bit of that, which was to be expected, but these cars seem to really race each other really well, especially in the draft, and we saw it with you and Brandon all race long. What's your opinion on this track and the setup, and do you think this is the way to go, racing on the oval versus the road course?
It's very interesting. I'm definitely better on the oval versus the road course, so I might have to take it in that aspect. But it was a lot of fun. Dirty air is going to be a big thing for the real life race. It was a big thing tonight. Man, Brandon Fielder, he could manage the dirty air better than me. He was weaving in and out on the back stretch, and he just had a better line going into the corners, and he would honestly beat me a little bit there. So when I would get behind him, I would just really, really push in that dirty air. And during that second stint, I even caught the wall a bit and took my fast repair and said, well, from here on out, I either got to, not hit the wall or that's it. But I'm curious to see. I mean, I always really enjoyed the Indianapolis Oval. It's always, a crown jewel of the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. And I'm happy that they're going back to it. It might not be a permanent thing, but it's definitely cool. It's definitely a good change that I think for the sport. And most of all, I think the stands are going to be filled again because if you really look during the road course, it was a little sparse. So hopefully with this information that's going back to the Oval in Indianapolis, hosting that fantastic race with Joseph Newgarden taking the checkered flag, that they're going to put on a good show. A little skeptical, but, hopefully I can be proved wrong and they can put on one hell of a show.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for all that, and good to have you out here racing with us. Good win. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, man. I'm going to try to hit as many of these as I can. Unfortunately, Thursday is a work day for me, but anytime I can get out of work, I love running in this league, and I wouldn't want to run anywhere else.
Same here. Thursday, it's rough for me, too. I get out of work at 7 o'clock tonight, and I rush home, and I make sure I get on here and do some broadcasting for you guys. So thanks for racing with us.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate the broadcast, everything you do, and the cool graphics. I get to share it around in my little friend group.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All righty. Thanks, Matt. Congratulations. We'll talk to you next week.
10-4, thank you.
Alrighty, Marshall. Let's see if we can pull up P2. Talk to Brandon.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Brandon, it's David up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, what's up, David?
Hey, so walk us through the race. We were really impressed with you and the race winner, Matthew Heel, all race long. You guys, man, back and forth, lap after lap. It was really impressive. Walk us through and how your race went and tell us what you think.
I'm tired. I can tell you that I'm tired. But it was a lot of fun racing with Matthew and John at the end of the race there. Yeah, when Matthew and I were side by side, the only way I could keep to get off of him was to downshift to fourth and just drive through fourth through both 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that was able to keep my car on the bottom of the racetrack. But once he got by me, I tried a little too hard, and the car washed up the track in the dirty air, and I hit the wall a couple times, and he just got too far away from me on that run before the last pit stop. And then I made a few mistakes after I made the pit stop to try and run him down. And then Luke tried to help. I'll go help with a loose term there. He still remembers kind of what happened at Worldwide Technology Raceway between him and Matthew. So he was trying to help out a little bit there. But in the end, I had a lot of fun tonight, and I'm happy with the second place finish.
Now, what is your take on this setup in these cars on the oval? Are you more of the oval guy, more of the road course guy? Are you happy to see the oval back? And how do you think the car race compared to what's your preference on? Would you rather see these cars race on the oval here on out, or what's your take on that?
I would say if the iRacing setup was a little bit better set up for this car, I wouldn't mind the oval. For whatever reason, we were all hitting our max or hitting our limiter about halfway, 3/4 the way down the front straightaway. So once we hit that rev limiter, you just couldn't go anywhere. As soon as you did that, everyone was going the same speed, and if you had any kind of run, it was just thwarted from that. So I think if it had a little bit, if they upped or if your speed and rev limiter got a little farther down toward the beginning of 1 and 3, I think it would be a lot better. But based on the current setups, I think the Indy Oval would have been a better track to go to.
I got you. Good information. Yeah, I agree with you there. Marshall, you got anything?
I did, but he actually answered that question. I was going to ask him about the whole setup and the oval situation, and he pretty much answered that whole question.
Glad I could stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, he beat us to the point. Beat us to the punch there. Awesome, Brandon. Well, good to hear from you. And man, just real impressive all race long. We were rooting for you, and we were watching you and John work all race long. Did you and John have any kind of talks and say, hey, we're going to work together, or did it kind of just happen the way it did, where you guys kind of pitted each time together and stayed next to each other all race long?
I think it just kind of worked out that way. Anytime I came over the radio, the in-game chat, I said I was pitting, he just followed me right down. So I think it was just, for him, it was whoever blinks first, follow that guy and see what we can do with it. But he had a really good car tonight as well. We were just talking in in the Equipment Geek chat, and he said that he thought he would saved a little too much at the beginning of runs, because he said he would catch Matthew and I about 5 laps before we started our pit stops. So he thought he could have pushed a little bit harder to keep up with us. But yeah, I had a lot of fun racing with John tonight.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you on that, and thanks for talking with us. And congrats on P2. Still a really respectable finish. I know you were looking for one more, but awesome job by you. And we'll talk to you next week, Brandon. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, as long as I can keep scoring some points here, I doubt I can get there, but I'm going to try to get as close as I can to Corey for that point lead.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can. I think you can get there. Just a matter of time. But yeah, I think you can get there. So right now, let's see. Let me pull up that point standings and take a look. And it looks like you are. Oh, looks. I forgot to add it.
Yeah, I think
You are P4.
Yeah, I
And
think one of the recent ones I was like in the overall series point standings. I think I was like 200 points behind him at one point.
I did forget to
For a
add the
point thing.
points on the broadcast, but I do have it up in here. But yeah, you I'll have to pull it up later on. But yeah, you are pretty close to catching him.
Yeah, as long as I can keep doing this, I think I can get at least very close.
All righty. Well, I appreciate you, Brandon. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too, man.
All righty. There you heard it from P2 finisher Brandon Feeler. We'll see. John's in the chat. Let's see if we can pull him up as well.
John Ledger P3. Let's see.
Hey, John's David and Marshall up in the booth. You got us?
How's it going, guys?
Hey, pretty impressive, man. We were really impressive with you and Brandon. You guys working together all race long. How did the race go, in your opinion?
It went fine. Like I think the beginning of the runs, I was a bit too conservative because I'd pull away, 2.5 seconds on me, and that just run back in at the end. I think I need to be more aggressive off the get go.
Yeah, we were talking with Brandon just moments ago that it seemed like you guys really worked together all race long. I was asking him if it was like a planned strategy or if it kind of just unfolded that way, but he says, yeah, it just kind of worked out the way it did. And did working with him kind of help you stay up there towards the front, like as far as staying with the draft? Do you think you would have anything for the race lead if you didn't work with him, or what do you think?
Draft was a little important, but the fact that we were redlining at the start finish line on the front stretch, like it kind of equaled out at the end of the straightaways to where the draft really didn't do anything. The biggest offset was when people would get side by side, it would slow them down by 0.3 of a second a lap.
Okay, I got you. Yep, definitely.
I will admit, I was pretty nervous, when we came up on lap cars after what happened at Nashville.
Yeah, I know. Man, we were watching Luke and watching Matthew Heel, and we were waiting to see if something was going to happen. And I was like, Brandon and John are in the perfect position to make something happen here and come away with a win if anything was going to happen. Even you guys passing, like you said, on these lap cars, yeah, it's real sketchy, and it was entertaining.
Yeah, it was the last few laps racing hard with Brandon. Like that was some of the most fun I've had racing here so far. Like there was very little give and take, but at the same time it was still clean.
Yeah, we had a blast up here in the booth watching you guys race. I mean, I thought maybe coming into Indianapolis that it was going to be a boring, follow the leader race, but we watched Heel and Brandon go back and forth side by side for lap after lap, and I was like, man, if this is like what the Cup Series is going to be on Sunday, this is going to be awesome. But yeah, it was good racing between you and the top 5 cars, top 4 cars all race long. You guys really stayed with each other and really battled for the lead.
Yeah, I hope we put on a good show for everyone.
Oh, it should be. I hope you guys go back and watch it and enjoy the broadcast. We had a great time watching you guys race.
Well, I do that every week when I'm sitting down for dinner, which I definitely need to go pick up dinner right now before it starts to storm too bad.
Marshall, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, so early in the race, John, I noticed you're, Brandon, Matthew Hill were a couple seconds ahead, like a second and a half. At what point when they started battling did you, what was going on in your mind? Like, did you think you had a car that could run with them? I mean, obviously you did. You finished pretty good. You ran a strong race tonight, obviously. Were you hoping that maybe they would have kind of raced a little bit more harder for you to capitalize? What was going on in your mind when those two started going at it back and forth for a couple laps?
Oh, when they started going back and forth, I was watching their lap times fall off big time, and it's like, okay, it's going to get me back up into the mix. And the last 6 or 7 laps of that second stint, we were all pushing each other and to the turns and everything. It was, I think I had a car that could have won. It ran out of time, ran out of strategy. There's not much strategy you can play at a track like this.
Exactly right. That's what I was thinking. There's only so much you can do on a big track like this.
Yeah, you've got to come out of the pits with a partner, or you're going to lose a couple of tenths. You got to stay in the gas as long as possible. Like even redlining, it's like,
Again, congrats on a P3, much earned and deserved P3 for you.
Yeah, I know it's not the win you're looking for, but still, nonetheless, you put on a heck of a race in P3. I felt like that was a really hard fought for P3, a podium finish there. So I'm really impressed. I know you want to get the win, but you are already locked into playoffs with a win already this season. So good points day overall, though.
Yeah, just gotta keep on making up those points I lost out on from Nashville. I was running P3 when the incident happened, and the seizure a few weeks earlier.
Right. Yeah. Well, you should definitely be fine, and come playoff time, you'll be right there up there with these guys, and just keep practicing. And good job, P3. We'll talk to you soon, Luke or John. I'm sorry. Talk to you soon, John. Appreciate you talking with us after the race, and have a good weekend.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Thank you.
Alrighty, Marshall. I don't see anybody else inside the top five. I think that's pretty much going to do it for here tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't see anybody else in the top five. I do, however, got a question for you. Even though you're the broadcaster and you're the man, the goat, the legend, the myth.
Yes, sir.
But so I'm gonna run this by you. So I'm looking at the schedule right now. What we got left, not only just regular season, but for the playoffs also. I'm gonna throw this at you. What race are you most looking forward to? Between the regular season and the playoffs. What race has caught your eye that you're looking forward to?
As far as like broadcasting, like what race am I looking forward to broadcasting, or like just watching in
Yeah,
general?
yeah. Broadcasting. I don't know if you're doing every race, even in the playoffs and broadcasting. I don't know how that works for you yet, but just in general, between what we got left and the next gen schedule and the regular playoff races.
Well, I would probably say Daytona just because of the chaos that ensues. So, like, if I'm going to be broadcasting and watching, I think I want to watch a Daytona race or broadcast a Daytona race because you're going to have side by side battles all race long. Everybody's going to be bunched up together. So, that one I'm probably looking forward to the most watching. But if I want to go technical and what race I'm looking forward to, I really like Michigan. I really like Darlington and Bristol. Bristol's gonna be fun. I'm not looking forward to road courses such as like Watkins Glen. Um, oh yeah, I forgot. Even Atlanta's kind of a super speedway now, technically inside the
Yes,
playoffs.
yes.
But yeah, I would say road courses. Not really my forte. Not looking forward to that. But yeah, if I had to guess, like it's or not guess, but if I had to say Daytona and Atlanta, like those kind of style races. Those are going to be the most fun and most entertaining for the viewers to be watching stuff like that. Those are the ones I'm be
Yeah,
looking forward to.
yes, I agree. I run pretty good at super speedways, Daytona and Talladega and stuff like that. I can't wait to run Daytona in the next gens because I feel like it's anybody's race. If you stay out of the big one, it's anybody's race. But I'm looking forward to the Charlotte Roval. I'm not much of a road course guy, but it's a track that I worked at Charlotte for several years, dirt track and the NASCAR track and the drag strip. It'd be nice to go back home, to Charlotte. And they changed the Roval up a little bit this year. I don't know if they've updated it on iRacing yet or not, but they've changed. They made a few changes at the Roval, but I feel like I've got a little bit of advantage there because I've worked there. I know where you should brake, where you should gas. So I'm kind of looking forward to going to the Roval later on in the playoffs.
Yeah, I definitely. And the funny thing is, I used to be really good at the Roval too, and I'm kind of bummed that I'm not racing with you guys because like that's one of my strong tracks. I don't know what it is about the Roval. I'm not really good at road courses in general. Like I'm not good at Sonoma, and I'm not good at Watkins Glen. But the Roval, I don't know what it is. I love that track. I like racing there. That's also gonna be what I'm looking forward to. I feel like you're gonna have your strong cars that are up there leading the race the entire time, then the top three probably. Kind of like almost what we saw tonight, but it's still going to be entertaining nonetheless.
Right. Oh, it's going to be entertaining. You just got to stay on the track. Don't mess up. But I will say this: if you've never been, to the Roval, put it on your bucket list. It's definitely interesting to go watch. I'll tell you the best place to sit will be right there at the entrance of turn one, where they come past the flag stand, make that first turn into turn one, and then when they come back out onto the track, you can sit right there. You can see it's pretty much where all the action happens. So if you ever get a chance, looking to go into it.
Yeah, I definitely want to go. I gotta make that trip sometime and definitely check that out for sure. I haven't been to Charlotte or North Carolina ever, so I definitely gotta go, and I definitely want to go to Charlotte Motor Speedway sometime for a race. It'd be awesome.
It's great. It's a great area. C-Max drag strip with the Fort Wide Nationals. Even dirt track. I don't know if you're into dirt track racing, but at the end of the year, they do not the Fort Wide, but the World Finals.
Oh,
World
right,
Finals.
right. Yep.
Yeah,
I've
that's a
heard of it.
must. Yep, I've worked it. I've been to it. So it's a great atmosphere. It's a really nice facility. It's definitely worth checking into if you ever get a chance.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that information. Yeah. I will be at Michigan, so there's that. But that's August 15th on the schedule for our Thursday league. But we'll be there Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Jealous. Well, enjoy, have fun, and I'll catch you next week.
All right. Take it easy. We'll hear from you soon.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys next week at, it looks like Chicagoland's going to be next Thursday. So thank you for watching.